This is my audience, my mom and a few family friends. So my topic today is environmental education in the U.S. public school system. I'd like to start with a quote from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was an international public figure, a well-recognized philosopher, and really a national leader. He said, "Education is the most powerful weapon in which you can use to change the world." The problem I'd like to talk today is about climate change and environmental degradation. What we can do to help that problem is to educate people in order to promote a change in the world and the society in which slows down the rate of climate change and reduces environmental consequences. If no action is taken, then our environment will continue to degrade, causing resources to become limited, ecosystems to collapse, and health issues to rise. Therefore, I propose that if environmental education were incorporated into the public school curriculum, students would become more environmentally conscious and friendly, producing more environmentally conscious and friendly future citizens and leaders of the U.S. The issue is climate change. Climate change is defined as an increase in greenhouse gases that causes a warming of the ozone. This warming causes environmental disasters such as hurricanes, droughts, and floods, which in turn also causes economic issues and societal issues. Environmental degradation and the increase of climate change is heavily contributed to by human action. According to the 2018 Journal of Environmental Law, the main driver of climate change is greenhouse gas emissions, specifically from human activities. Because of that, climate change has prompted national action and international action, such as the Kyoto Protocol from a while back and the Paris Accord from not too long ago. What we can do to do our part in this is to provide environmental education for our youth. By that, I mean environmental education as education based off of interactions with the natural world, natural processes, and ecosystems. So pretty much anything that has to do with the environment and nature and how humans interact with that. By one case study, environmental education's goal is to motivate, develop, and assert nature is valuable. It also should form emotive bonds and make environmental conscious thinking part of the values of the students. In one case study that reviewed multiple experiments and case studies in which environmental education was incorporated into education already, showed that environmental education learning outcomes improved by 94%. In relation to that, 95% of non-environmental education learning outcomes also increased. What this shows is that environmental education can be effectively incorporated into the U.S. school curriculum already. One option for integrating environmental education would be one-day intervention of environmental education. This would be a day in which students or a school goes out and on a field trip or just sets a day aside to learn environmental lessons. And in past case studies, this is shown to spark interest in environmental education, but not produce environmental values, which means that, yes, students are more interested, but they wouldn't be acting on it, and it wouldn't stick with them because the education isn't continued. So because of that, another option I am proposing is that environmental education be integrated into topics that already exist in school. What this would do is not change the structure of the U.S. public school system, but change the values of learning a little bit. And that's supported by that statement earlier that was found in a case study in which the learning outcomes that are already in place improve with the integration of environmental education. So what that would look like is environmental education being integrated into classes like science, in which the students interact and learn about the natural processes and environmental processes. Another option would be to get students in art and literature or writing classes to go out and observe the natural world. In one case study, a teacher had her students do that, and they had never realized how dirty and polluted their environment was around them. And after that, they were interested and they wanted to do something about it. So that has been proven effective. What I want you to imagine is a world in which we don't have political debates on the environment. We have renewable resources and energy. We have a healthy ecosystem with clean air. My hope is that after listening today, you realize that there is a problem with our environment, but we have the potential to change it through environmental education and developing our youth. What I would ask is that you first and foremost take the time to assess yourselves and your education on the environment. Find one thing that you do in your routine that negatively impacts the environment and change it. If you have children or youth, I ask that you look into their education and see what they're learning and see if you can improve upon it to change their actions and teach them how to properly interact with the environment. If we all take responsibility in the way we are treating the environment and what we are doing wrong, we can become a more environmentally conscious society and improve the world in which we live in. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Very good.
Yay.
Very